Hi, buddy. Welcome back to Ox Talks. It is Saturday, February the 3rd, 2024. I've been talking about this for a while now. I wanted to build on a show we did a while ago about a get home bag. And the concept for me, and again, I'm just sharing with you here what I do. So, you have to use your own judgment, your own discretion. Choose the things that you believe belong in your bags. I would suggest you have some bags. This is not a get home bag. It's a larger backpack. Again, you don't have to break the bank going out and buying some fancy backpack because, frankly, guys, for the most part, it just sits in the closet. But when I go away for a few days, when my family goes away for a few days, I have two of these kits set up. So I have one bag that covers two of us. We have four in our family, two kids, two adults. So I make sure the bag goes in the car when they leave town, or sometimes two bags. And certainly we have some backups. So I weighed this bag before I unpacked it. It was about 42 pounds. It felt more like 50 pounds to me, frankly. This is not a bag you're gonna throw over your back and walk 20 miles with. That's the get home bag. This would ride in the car with you. It would be at the campsite, maybe. It would be in the hotel room as a backup. Frankly, if we're somewhere for a weekend, I just leave this bag in the back of the car. I don't take this into hotel rooms or what have you. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of the video, and I hope this content's helpful, I have received some requests for this. So I'm going to go through it, let you know what I've done here, and hopefully it'll be helpful to some of you to implement your preparedness strategy. But before I start, I want to thank you for watching the videos. I want to thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. It means a lot to me. I want to keep growing this community. We talk about lots of things on this channel, from current news events to geopolitical things to economics to owning and operating your own business to health and fitness to preparedness, trying to make this a well-rounded channel within the time constraints that I have to do this during the week. So that being said, again, thank you. Please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the bell notification. And most importantly, please share the videos with your family, your friends, your coworkers and colleagues, anybody who will listen. Plaster social media with this stuff. I want to keep getting these views pumped up so we can wake up the algos. So again, I appreciate all of you. So let's just start with what I have on the table. I try to make this stuff in compact bags within the backpack. Some of it's for waterproofness, some of it is for organization. So I'm just going to start, I guess, from left to right, be your right to left, and go through what I have here. And I do keep I've kept this thing, you can see this thing is shredded. I keep this folder, which contains obviously a list of everything I have in all of my preparedness supplies, not just the 3-day bag, but also I keep recipes in here, cooking strategies. I keep my my ham radio frequencies and repeater information. There's a whole lot of stuff I've compiled over the years that I keep in this. Just keep that here at the house. Okay, left to right. Water is heavy. You can't carry a lot of water. I always carry a 1-gallon jug wherever I'm at in the car, fresh, but I also keep a couple extra containers in my get home bag. I have a couple of canteens. You've got to have a way to obtain water, fresh water, or a way, if you can't obtain fresh water, to filter some water. So relative to water filtration, I'll go over here because I see this now. Water's heavy. You can't carry a lot. So you have to be prepared to be able to filter some water. And let me tell you what I have on my water filtration list. I have a Sawyer mini water filter here. I have a PureSip personal water filter, and I have AquaTabs. So you guys can look those up on Amazon or whatever. Again, Sawyer mini water filter, PureSip personal water filter, and AquaTabs if you need to quickly purify some water. So these things I think are important to have. I keep it separated in a Ziploc bag here. Water obviously is important because you have to be able to, number one, stay hydrated, not get dehydrated. But number two, you have to be able to cook some food. In a 3-day scenario for me, you can't just live off of the Millennium bars and the protein bars. You've got to have some sustenance above and beyond that for a 3-day bag. Next thing I have, just going from this corner here, is I have some general medications, maybe some general, ibuprofen and stuff like that, and a tourniquet. You guys have got to have, and someone said it in my last video on the Get Home bag, I didn't have a tourniquet in that bag. I think you can't have too many tourniquets. So I agree, you got to have one, get a good one, and so you got to have a good tourniquet as well if something should happen. I always carry gloves. We talk about gloves. You've got to be able to protect your hands. Doesn't have to be anything really fancy. I don't know where I got these from, but they seem to hold up, and they're lightweight. This is a mosquito net for around your head, around your face, a bug net, depending on the time of year and the climate you're in. If you're back east, you guys know what I'm talking about, high humidity, or down in Florida, the mosquito net is really important. You can pick these things up on Amazon for super cheap. I always keep some plastic bags here for waste or what have you. That's just, it doesn't take up much space. They're very light, throw them in the bag. I always carry a couple of knives. This is a Mora knife, M-O-R-A knife. It's just, it's very inexpensive, but it could be used for cutting things, food preparation, whatever. And then of course I keep a higher end knife. This is a Benchmade blade. I'll come around and show you this here. Again, the blades I think you got to have some good blades. This is a Benchmade, had this for a while. It's not a folder, okay? As you can see, has a sheath. So I keep that in the 3-day bag. Again, a better knife like this is more for, obviously for defense, than this is more for utility. Let's talk about maps. Have some maps of your local area in your bag. I keep them in my Get Home bag, but also the 3-day bag. Depending on where you're going to, it might be smart to go to your AAA beforehand and grab a couple maps of the area you're traveling to, so you have something besides your cell phone. The point is this, is that Waze and Google Maps and this stuff could be down if an emergency situation unfolds, and you won't have access to simply a navigation. If you're in an unfamiliar area, for sure, you want to have some maps. I keep a pocket reference book here. This is Pocket Reference by Thomas Glover. It just contains a whole bunch of information. Let me come around and show you this. This is called the Pocket Ref by Thomas Glover. It might show up backwards. I don't know on the video here. Sorry, guys. And this is a SAS survival guide. So I keep a small survival guide. Again, it just covers a bunch of topics. It's would you refer to it? I don't know. Maybe you would, but maybe you wouldn't. But it covers food. It covers climate and terrain. It covers essentials. I'm looking at the titles: reading and signs, a camp craft, things like that. So again, it's just making it well-rounded here, guys, frankly. Okay, let's talk about, this is just a lean-to. It is a waterproof lean-to that you could use to construct yourself something where you could stay dry. Obviously a poncho would serve the purpose if you just want to have it on your body, but this would be to create something better than that. These are some Mayday bars. Mayday is they're just a source of quick food, energy, sugar, carbohydrates. Mayday, M-A-Y-D-A-Y. These are Coast Guard approved type, energy bars, basically, I keep in the bag. Source of light. Got to have a good light always. I think there's I consider two things here. One is a good headlamp. I carry a Tactica, T-A-C-T-I-K-K-A by Petzl, P-E-T-Z-L. These are pretty good headlamps. And yes, just so you know, I do have good batteries in these. You need to make sure that the batteries are constantly refreshed. Depending on your climate, the batteries run down. So keep a good headlamp because it's hands-free. If you need to be operating a firearm or doing something, cooking, you've got to have light on the subject. Next thing is I carry a good a good flashlight. This is a Surefire. It's a Fury. I think this is 500. I think it's 500 lumen. Good flashlight. Again, batteries are constantly refreshed and updated. I keep a compass and a whistle here. Compass obviously being more important. I keep some duct tape. The duct tape would be potentially important if you are trying to fix this lean-to to something. You can use paracord or anything else that makes sense for you. What else do I have here? Let's talk about sleeping and whether it would be out in the open, whether it would even be in a vehicle with the seats folded down or a truck bed. I keep two. This is Static Recon. These are inflated sleeping pads, okay? And they're very light, they're very compact, and these things, it's by Klymit, K-L-Y-M-I-T. It's a lightweight sleeping pad. Look, you can't sleep comfortably on a hard surface. I carry two of these, again, two per family member, 2 bags, that's 4 total. And I also carry what's called a jungle blanket by Snugpak. Snugpak, S-N-U-G-P-A-K. This is called the jungle blanket, fully insulated. It really gets compact, and it is amazing in terms of conducting heat, so you can stay warm depending on your climate. So you got to have a way to stay dry. You got to have a way to rest comfortably. So we have the sleeping pads for below. We have the blanket for above. What else do we have here? Talk about medical. Medical is something that we talked about, the tourniquet, but I also keep kind of a comprehensive just boo-boos and sprains and cuts and things like that. I keep this, again, in a Ziploc bag, and I'm sure it's going to struggle with getting it out of here now. This is pretty extensive. You can see here it contains everything from burn cream. You know, people might say, well, that's overkill, but whatever. You don't know what you're going to come up against. So you've got wound seal. I've got Band-Aids. You've got some eye wash. You have some sutures. You have some gauze, bandages, you know, things of that nature, bee sting stuff, you know, Aleve. So this is just kind of a kit I found a couple years ago somewhere, and I grabbed a couple of them because they're sealed up. You got bleeding, it covers cuts and scrapes, blisters, splinters, and stings, bleeding, wounds, burns, sprains and strains, and CPR and shock. There's a couple things in there. Obviously, you have to be trained to use. So that is kind of the medical. That's probably one of the bulkier things I have in the bag, but it's really lightweight. So, you know, when you put stuff in these Ziploc bags like this, get the air pounded out of that, you know, it really gets compressed down, and I find it comforting to know that I have it. Let's talk about these water resistant bags. Ziplocs are fine. I also keep some of these water resistant bags. I think I got this. These are outdoor products. I might have got these at Walmart or something. And I forget what's in these bags. I'm going to go through these with you guys as we're here right now, so you can go through it with. You can hear what I'm talking about here. All right. I suppose I keep a bore cleaner here. It's not the right size. I don't know. That looks like it's for a 223. It should be for a 9. These are bolt cutters, guys, depending on where you're at and what you'd have to get into. A little miniature crowbar. Okay. I also keep a 3-in-1 tool, or excuse me, 4-in-1 tool. We talked to you about that. One of the comments last week was I didn't have this in my get home bag, and that's true, and I've ordered an extra one for the get home bag. These open various hydrants and things if you need access. Okay, so I think that's important. Check it out. 4-in-1 tool. We have a flint and a fire starter. We have, I don't know what this is, frankly, guys. Let me see. I've got an Army knife, Swiss Army knife, another 4-in-1 tool right here. Okay, larger size. We talked about this last time. Cotton balls drenched in Vaseline, incredible source of fire starting. These things light up, they stay lit, they produce heat. So depending on what you need to do, if you need to start a fire, whatever you need heat source for, These cotton balls soaked in Vaseline are really important. Have a couple lighters. Someone mentioned last time to me I didn't have lighters in my get home bag. That's true. I have some in my 3-day bag instead. Oh, this is a little saw. This is a little saw that is, it's a chain. It's a chain that's actually a saw. So you could cut wood with this. If you needed to, cut through something larger, it looks like a bicycle chain, but it's actually a little saw. See that? So I don't know where I picked that up, but I felt it was something to throw in the bag. It's light and it's compact. Okay, we talked about this last time. Having a source of writing. You need to have a capability to write some stuff down, gather some intel. I keep these Write in the Rain pads, R-I-T-E, in the rain, all-weather notebook with a pen. I keep a copy of valid information, birth certificates, passports. I keep some cash, things of that nature in these little kits. I have one of these in both the 3-day bags and the get home bag. Let's move on to the next item, communication. If cell phones are down, how are you going to communicate? So there's 2 ways that we talk about to get information. One are ham radios. These are prepper type radios. They're not really expensive. It's called Baofeng, B-A-O-F-E-N-G. Baofeng radios, and these, I have my repeaters, local repeaters programmed in here, so I can hit the repeaters and communicate with people. I do have my ham radio operating license. Got it about 10, 12 years ago. It's good for life once you get it, so I took care of that. So I have that license. I also have, I have this piece of equipment. I also have a longer antenna here. This is made by Nagoya, N-A-G-O-Y-A. It's an NA771. It's an antenna. So this comes off here. This antenna would screw on, gives you a little bit more range. That's all it does, okay? But these little Baofeng radios, for the cost, they're pretty cool to have. I keep them in all my bags. I have a couple here at the house. So ham radio, look into it, guys, if it's important to you. If the cell phones are down and you're dark, I would think the most intimidating thing would be not being able to receive information about what's going on around you, and maybe to communicate your position or what's happening out to somebody else. This is just a little cheap shortwave radio I have. This is just, I think it's Amazon. It's a Kaito, K-A-I-T-O makes it. It's a little shortwave radio that I keep in the bag as well. Again, let me see if I'm sure the batteries are good because I checked this stuff. Yeah, batteries are good. So you can get basic radio on that, but you can get, it's 8-channel, and this is the kind of stuff that you may want to be able to have against lightweight, and you can throw it in the bag, and it provides some feedback, some data, depending on what's going on. And in connection with that, I also researched years ago that sometimes these things, depending on where you're at, do not get great reception. So you can create, just from basic speaker wire, you can create a very simple homemade antenna. And this thing, literally, I make it, you can throw this thing over, you could catapult it up over a tall tree or something with a rock, and all of a sudden you've got an antenna. And then all of a sudden this thing can reach out and get you a lot more information. So I do keep this little antenna I've got that I made. I didn't make, I just basically cut some speaker wire and put some clamps on the end. So that's here as well. Let's talk about the security. Of course, this is a backup. You're obviously, hopefully, going to have a sidearm with you. This is a backup that I keep. I will not actually show that for anybody who that's concerning to, or for YouTube people. But look, keep a backup. 1 is none, 2 is 1. So I have that. It's on a format where I can sling it over the shoulder, and I have some backup magazines in there. This one does have a light on it, so with obviously rotated batteries at all times, I suggest having a backup source of protection in that regard. That's what I do. Do what suits you. Let's talk about, I think we're winding down here, cover a lot of topics. Food. On a 3-day bag, you got to have some calories. You have some sustenance, but beyond just the basic, Millennium bars and things of that nature. So I measure food by calories, by 2,000 calories per day, per person, per family member. If you look at food that way, you know you have it covered. And be careful with what you're buying and the quality of the product you're buying. So the food I keep in this bag, I keep Millennium bars, Mayday bars, and then I keep this this Mountain House Pro Packs, a PROPAK, and those things are basically I keep 1 day's food supply in each separate bag. So again, we're in a 3-day bag. We have 3 bags here on the table, and each one has 4 Pro Packs. Okay, so I was thinking you do some kind of a protein bar or something like that for 1 meal. Then you have 2 other meals per day per family member for 3 days. So I carry 12 Pro Packs. These guys use a little bit of water. And once you put the hot water in, that's a ready-made meal. Do your own research. I'm not telling you that's the best out there, but when I looked at all this stuff, I felt like they were the most compact. They're freeze-dried, so they'll have a huge, very long shelf life. How do you cook the stuff? Well, let me tell you first, you got to be able to eat the stuff, so carry some sporks or some silverware. These are sporks. These are plastic forks and knives and spoons. Doesn't matter what you use. Throw some plastic forks, picnic stuff into your bag. Got to have a way to eat unless you want to eat with your fingers like a cave person. So, of course, then you got germs and whatever else, hygiene. So throw some utensils into your bag. And then the last way is, how do you cook the stuff? Well, I keep a what's called a cook pot. It's a titanium 600 mil cook pot with a fuel canister, and I keep some propane. So let me explain this to you. I'll come around. This is a little pot, but all you have to have enough is to basically boil some water, guys. You don't have to, you're not having a 6-course meal here. You're just trying to get some water hot. So this is a little titanium cup, or this is the mechanism by which you light up the propane. And in here, I have a little propane container. So this is just a, this fits right. Basically what happens, and I explain this to you, is this goes on top of the propane container. It screws in like this, okay? If you can see that a little bit, guys. Screws in like that. And then you basically fire up this propane, and you can warm yourself up some water, which then, or boil some water, which then will activate your Pro Packs, and they will basically make a nice warm, I say nice, they make a warm meal for you or for your family member. So you got to have a way to cook, you got to have a way to heat water, got to have some food. These are all things that need to be thought about. And trust me, it took me a long time to think through this stuff. I did have, obviously, friends and people that were like-minded, that were also, assisted and educated me. But it's overwhelming at first. You can't do this stuff overnight. Some of the stuff obviously takes some money. Oh, I missed okay, I got some batteries, by the way. I got some extra batteries. Some CR123s, excuse me, not CR123s. These are the Surefire batteries. Yeah, the 123s for this flashlight, and we got some AA's for the other stuff. So keep some batteries on you if you can. There was one more bag I missed here. Okay, this is hygiene. Let me cover hygiene. And let me tell you what I keep for hygiene. I keep for hygiene some Wet Ones antibacterial hand wipes. I keep an extra pair of my eyeglasses for my eyes, antibacterial hand wash, a sewing kit, Q-tips, 2 short toothbrushes, toothpaste, razor, Tums if you need it for stomach stuff, chapstick, lotion, eye drops, deodorant, and of course some feminine products. Guys, think about if there's women in the family. So that's what is in this watertight bag right here, is hygiene. So we have all the things covered. Let me know if I missed something, all you hardcore guys out there and girls. If we didn't cover something, please give me your suggestions. It's always a learning process. But we cover hydration, we cover security, we cover sleeping and cover. We cover nutrition and food. We cover light, sleeping, cooking, medical, tools, security here, communication. So I try to hit all these bases. Yes, all this stuff fits in this backpack right here. Like I said, it's 40 pounds. You're not going to walk, a whole long distance with that pack, but you have it. It's compact, and you can take it where you need it to be. I was talking to a friend of mine I worked out with last night. He moved to Arizona recently, and he got stuck on the 10 freeway, some major rollover. They were stuck out there for 5 hours. I've been in those kind of situations too on those freeways where you're stuck for a whole day. You hear nightmares where it's longer than that. So you've got to, it could be something simple. It doesn't have to be some major, grid down event. It can just simply be where you're on a highway where the road gets closed and you're stuck there for overnight or something, and you might want to have this kind of stuff. So this is what I do. I hope it was informative and helpful. Let me see how long the video was today. Probably a lot longer than I normally go. There's not much news today. Yeah, I'm at 25 minutes. It takes a long time to cover this stuff. So let's see if you guys think it's helpful. I could tell by the comments if you do. I'll keep, for those that think it's helpful, I want to educate the best I can about what I'm doing, and hopefully that you'll implement this in your strategy and your safety net, if you will, to protect you and your family. This is just part of the whole thing. It's not just knowing what's going on with news every day. It's not just training and staying in shape. You've got to do all of this stuff across the board. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I'm scooting down here because I'm too tall for the tripod. But again, hope you found it helpful. Workout today, took the day off. Got a bunch of steps in. Worked about 6 hours, unfortunately, on a Saturday, drafting some motions. But it's my down day, but I still did get steps in. So please get your workout in today, or at least get some cardio in, and watch the diet. Be very mindful of what you're putting in the body. Calories in, calories out. You can't get on a healthy regimen if you're not watching the diet as well. With that being said, I'll do my best tomorrow to put a video up. Didn't see a lot of news today. The trucking convoy is making its way into Texas for the border dispute. So far, what I've seen is it's peaceful, and they're just there for support. We'll see where this goes in the next couple of days. With that being said, have a great rest of your Saturday. Talk to you later. Bye.